Hello everyone, my name is Wasila Nuruddin, and for my senior presentation I've chosen to research about two different graduate programs from two different universities. The graduate programs I decided to study about were Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology from Bastyr University and Master of Science in Mental Health Counseling at Western Washington University. I chose to look into both of these programs due to my avid interest in counseling and the field of therapy overall. So first I'd like to go over the program from Bastyr University. So the Master's in Counseling Psychology, it's essentially a two-year program where a minimum of 82 credits is required to graduate, and they offer a weekend course format. So this offers flexibility for those students who work during the week or who are commuting from long distances. An attractive part of this program is they offer hands-on clinical skills development, basically counseling experience at the BCNH, or the Bastyr Center of Natural Health, which is a teaching clinic at the university itself. So this allows students to gain counseling experience where they deal with real clients, but under the supervision and guidance of mentors and other counselors. Another attractive feature is that they have small class sizes. So there is a lot more student-teacher interaction, and which I see as a big advantage. There are a lot of learning outcomes from the program at Bastyr. One is care of self. Many people think that in counseling you only help others, but it's important that you learn to care for yourself, and this program teaches you how to maintain self-discipline and self-management. There's also ethical and professional practice. Ethics is a really big part in psychology, as there's a lot of sensitivity involved and confidentiality, things that you must be aware of. Also, you learn to deal with clients from different cultures. You learn about human growth and development, and you become skilled in the practice of mental health counseling, not just with individuals but with groups as well. And you also learn how to keep up to date with the latest research, which is really important in the field of psychology, as latest findings can help you adapt your methods and skills in the field. This program also helps you to pass national and state counseling exams. So that means you can become certified not just in Washington State but in other states as well once passing the exams to practice counseling. So career opportunities from this program: you'll be able to practice as an independent licensed mental health counselor, and you can work in a variety of different clinical settings, specializing in, for example, alcohol and substance abuse, or PTSD, child abuse. You can also pursue doctoral studies in psychology or other related fields. The prerequisites required for this program is a bachelor's degree with a GPA of a 3.0 or higher. You must have taken an introductory psychology course and passed with a grade of B or higher within the last 7 years. You need to provide a statement of intent and at least 2 letters of recommendation. The graduation requirements for this program involved 570 hours of supervised counseling including the counseling that you do at BCNH. You must complete a minimum of 82 credits, which compose the core of the program. You must complete the degree within 5 years of matriculation into the program. And then you're required to complete 10 hours of individual counseling or therapy sessions during the first year of the program before you are able to counsel others. You'll also, throughout the program, you must maintain a GPA of 3.0 or above, and also successfully complete the clinical competency exit exam, which allows you to practice as a mental health counselor after you exit the program. The average first year costs for the 2014 to 2015 academic year for a resident graduate equals up to around $25,000, which includes $1,800 for books and other supplies. And this was calculated for an average of 36 credits. If one considers living on campus, then they have to consider paying an additional $22,000, which covers 9 months of living expenses. So I'd like to talk about the Master's of Science in Mental Health Counseling offered at Western Washington now. It's a 2-year program, and they offer 2 options. One is a comprehensive option, where at the end of 2 years you take a comprehensive exam, or there's a thesis option, where instead of an exam you just present your thesis statement. You can actually do either or option, or you can do both, where you take the comprehensive exam as well as present your thesis statement. This program is CACREP approved, which means that it's an accredited program which allows students to complete only 2.5 years of postgraduate full-time counseling, of which 50 are under supervision. Typically, a student would have to complete 3 hours of postgraduate full-time counseling, of which 100 hours are under supervision. So this is much less compared to this program. Cuts that time. Through this approval, you're also able to take the NCE or licensing exam at the university itself at the end of the 2nd year, which certifies you to practice as a mental health counselor. So the curriculum at Western, it offers a variety of classes to increase our skills and understanding in practicing psychology. So some of the classes include adult and developmental psychopathology, psychological testing and appraisal, research methods in counseling, social psychology, lifespan and psychological development, counseling techniques, group counseling, and much more. Also, the curriculum, it states that upon completion of 2 quarters of applied experience under supervision at the counseling training clinic at the university, students must apply to appropriate agencies or clinics for an internship, which they will for their 2nd year of the program for all 3 quarters. And they must complete this internship in addition to the courses and seminars that they must take. Basically, the internships that the students engage in, it will provide them the skills and practice they need to be able to counsel or offer therapy after the after the program. So. The program at Western, this program has been offered for 2 years at Western, and they've had 100% completion rate, and all the students that have completed this program have been able to find jobs within 90 days of completing this program. Some of the jobs that they've gotten are as counselors, coordinators, program directors, therapists, some specializing in certain fields such as alcohol and drug abuse programs or community services or child development. The prerequisites for Western, in addition to filling out the application form and paying the fee, you need 3 letters of reference, and that's no more than a year old. You need one official transcript from each attended university or college. You also need a completed applicant questionnaire, otherwise known as a statement of purpose, and resume. And the statement of purpose includes questions such as, what you think is the primary role of a mental health counselor, or what experience you have in your life that is relevant to counseling psychology. You also need to provide GRE scores. In addition to those, you also need to have completed the following courses: personality or abnormal psychology, social or developmental psychology, 2 courses from learning, motivation, cognition, and neuroscience, a course in history and systems of psychology, or a course in the philosophy of science. So the average cost of attendance for a resident graduate that was recorded from the 2014 to 2015 academic year, it equal to about $10,000. And this is considering if the student took between 10 to 18 credits per quarter. If the student was considering living on campus, then they'd have to pay another $10,000, which makes the total to which gives you the total of around $20,000 per year for the program. So I was comparing the 2 graduate programs between Bastyr and Western, and I found some advantages and disadvantages from both. For example, at Bastyr, I found that it's more flexible in regards to time that you have to complete the program. They say that you have up to 5 years to complete the program, and they offer a weekend course format. Whereas Western, it's more time constricted. You have to complete the program in 2 years, and they only offer day classes. Bastyr, there's a lesser amount of prerequisites to get into Bastyr than there is to get into Western. And I saw the supervised counseling at the BCNH, or the Bastyr Center of Natural Health, to be a big advantage. At Western, you would have to apply to different agencies or clinics to get an internship to practice counseling and gain those skills. So there's no guarantee that you would get into the agency or clinic that you apply into. And also, there's a higher number of minimum required credits at Western than at Bastyr. However, at Bastyr, the costs of tuition are considerably higher than the cost of tuition at Western. And also, because Western is CACREP approved, you only have to complete 2.5 years of postgraduate counseling and 50 hours of supervision, compared to the typical 3 years of full-time counseling and 100 hours of supervision. Both the graduate programs, they will consider your psychology, your background in psychology, your GRE scores, and your letters of recommendation. But the main thing that they will focus on and decide, and the main factor that decides whether you get into the program or not, is the amount of experience you have in the field of psychology. So Western especially looks towards what social work you have done, or if you have done any. And I found that this is the one area that I'm lacking. So before I decide to apply to either of the graduate programs, I would have to increase the experience I have in psychology, and that could be through either volunteering or getting an internship. I could go to homeless shelters, or find social work somewhere where I could gain the experience I need to develop a good background so that I could get into one of these programs. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.